Welcome, Governor Livingston. You are in the zone, brought to you by GLHS TV and GL Sports Zone. We're your hosts, Ryan, Charlie, and Jonathan. Today, another winter preview episode, returning to the old ways. We might have a guest on, who knows. Today we're going to talk about wrestling. Great sport, awesome team last year. And we're going to just jump right into this. Chuck, give me the spiel on last year.
So they were 16-3 last year. They had a pretty good year.
Made it to the Group 2 final, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Wasn't it Hanover
They
Park?
went pretty far.
Hanover
I think
Park
they
is who they
lost.
lost
Did they
to,
lost? Yeah, they did really good last year. Ortega, obviously a great coach. Not the best gym volleyball ref, but or any of that stuff. But he's just a good guy. Can really get like a team to one goal, and overall, he's really leading that team. He's a state champ back in the day, so he's really knows wrestling
Won
well.
Coach of the Year, I think, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You got a lot of returning guys.
I think that's the strongest part.
I don't know any new freshmen coming up. Actually, there's Haddad, right? One of the younger ones.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Yeah, I
But-
think one of them's coming up.
But no one that'll be a immediate varsity contributor, at least. I think
Maybe.
It's
I don't know.
There's a lot of
a lot
Wrestling-
of
It's gonna be hard to
But
cry.
wrestling, it's not like football where it's all juniors and seniors. Like at like a 106, whatever, you can have a freshman.
luckily
Yeah, but
we have Sab, so
We have Sav.
He's still 106 junior year.
maybe he's 113.
113 maybe.
So who's coming into that?
Let's see. Who's gonna come into that 106? Maybe they'll
Probably
just
freshman.
freshman?
throw someone. Oh no, I think maybe he is 106. I don't know. They'll throw a freshman in the fire at that lightweight. Who knows? It's a tough sport, especially, but that's why those upperclassmen make that big of a difference, though, because they have that experience. It's such a technical sport. They have that, that level of experience. But we're gonna jump right into everyone's favorite segment. We gotta come up with the name of the segment. The something MVP breakout segment.
Season predictions.
No, you know how they have the
That's too
special
simple.
names.
Zone predictions.
We gotta get
I don't know.
Who's in the zone?
we gotta get a sponsor.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's
They
what
say
we gotta get.
sponsor the. No, we'll
FedEx
just do,
Aaron Ground Player of the Week.
We're not sponsored by FedEx.
Mike White won that.
Yeah. We'll just do who's in the zone. Who's gonna be in the zone this year? For me, my MVP, I took the easy pick. It's Dante Gioia. Dude's a beast.
Yeah,
He
not very creative with that.
No, not creative at all, and I'm completely fine with it. He had wrestling yesterday, and he was at the gym at 6:30 last night, hitting a workout, telling me, he said, I must come to the gym. Like, full power. He was, like, determined. And
Okay.
I'm like, hey, to each his own, because he was drenched in sweat from wrestling at the gym lifting. I don't even know how that's physically possible, especially with beginning season conditioning.
Yeah.
That's got to be brutal. But easy pick. He could probably beat most of us up. Maybe not Chuck, but he could probably beat most of us
Oh,
up.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. They were 17-3 last year, not 16-3.
Mm.
I just wanted to change that.
You know what I smell?
And they beat some big rivals like New Prov and ALJ
Yeah.
by like 67 points.
You know what I'm sensing?
Is
you
it
know?
Chuck's cologne?
No, not Chuck's cologne.
Oh.
But I'm sensing maybe a Dante Gioia state championship run.
That
You
wouldn't
know?
shock me.
Drinking
he's
the
finally.
Dante Goya Kool-Aid over here, huh?
Yeah, listen, he's been dealing with his shoulder stuff many years in the past, and he's finally, let's call it 99% to 100% health. It's going to be a good season. Him and Mr. Ortega are always talking about wrestling. Is he actually lifting and weightlifting, or is he just talking about to Mr. Ortega about?
If he's
wrestling?
getting it done after school, then
Well, no, not to that point. It's just those. He should be.
I think
getting
he'd get a
some
little
points
bit
off.
more. I think he'd be getting a little bit more done in volleyball. On our team.
We
especially.
could use him. Our team a little sloppy yesterday.
Yeah,
I was
'cause-
MIA.
Yeah, you're just ditched.
Yeah, sorry. Go Croatia. Upset. And to address USA also made it round of 16, lost to the Netherlands. Just throw that out there. We don't want to talk about it too much. Back to wrestling. Chuck, This MVP, we're going from fastball to like the screwball, the eephus pitch. He's throwing it in the air and hopes that it's the strike zone. No disrespect to his MVP, but it's just unique.
I'm going with James Urbino.
Flaming hot.
Yeah, so he won the Valrico Heating and Cooling Player of the Week last year. You know, he can win some big matches. He got COVID last year, kind of messed him up a little bit, and messed the team up also. You know, I like to give him a little stuff about that, but it's all right. I think he's gonna have a really strong year this year. He's coming into his weight a little bit better this year. Like last year, he was like 190, wrestling like 210, and but put some muscle on.
Okay. I thought you meant something else. I thought you meant something.
Sounds a lot better now.
He filled out a bit.
There you go. That's the nice way.
So I'm
He
quite excited to see James Urbino hit the mat this year.
Hopefully he's making other people hit the mat.
You know, his feet will hit the mat.
Hopefully. All right, now Jonathan, another more straightforward.
Straightforward. I mean, I had to go with the young stud on the squad, Jake Kreisberg. Kid's just an absolute beast.
Kid's got muscles on his muscles.
Muscles on muscles.
I think his eyebrows have like massive muscles.
He's got eyebrow muscles.
Eyebrow pump.
I mean, I was able to watch a couple matches.
People want candy, I guess.
Yeah. No, you got to slip a 20 under the door.
Yeah, Jake, I was able to watch a couple.
We're closed.
Oh, that worked. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption. People just want in. Hopefully it's not our guest.
Oh, wait, if Dante, that'd be kind of awkward.
That'd be pretty funny if it's. Oh, wow.
We all knew it was going to be Dante.
Could have been.
Who else
Who's
would we have
Mr. Ortega?
I mean.
What about your MVP?
We all know we're not having James on. All right?
If he wins MVP, we're having him on.
I'll give him a little bit of like props, but we're not having him on the show.
We're having him on. If he is the MVP, we're having him on. And we're cutting him a New York strip steak.
If James is the MVP, he'll have a call-in at best.
A call-in?
Yeah, like I'll have my phone here.
Not even the Zoom camera.
Oh, yeah.
We won't even have the Zoom camera behind us.
I don't think people need to see that. No.
James? No, definitely not.
All right, so back to Jake.
Yeah, back to Jake. Oh my God, sorry, people.
It's all Ryan's
He's
fault.
still young, you know. He's gonna have that first year of varsity under his belt. Now this year he's looking to improve on it. I mean, we were able to watch a couple matches. At least I was, and you know he kind of dominated kids. Now he's older and stronger, so he only can get better.
That is how it works. You get older and you get stronger. All right, now, you know what? Just give us your breakout. We're just gonna go back around. It is what it is. Hey, have at it.
I'll start it off. Yeah. I'm gonna say Christian Sabatino. I mean, he's been on.
Is it even a breakout?
It's not really a breakout, but like, I think he's gonna make that extra big step this year to be very dominant, and that's why I say he's my breakout.
Chuck's thinking of something. He's got a joke up his sleeve.
All right, so my breakout player of the year is Patrick Sheehan.
Of the year. I mean.
Like the wrestling.
Okay, the wrestling.
Come on, Schmidt.
You never know.
Sometimes you just gotta stay quiet, right?
Yeah.
So, Patrick Sheehan, you know, he went 1 in a lot last year, and the one was for a forfeit.
Listen, the only way is up.
Best thing about rock bottom is you can't dig anymore. So, he's gonna have a huge year this year. I think. You know, last year was his first year wrestling, right?
Yeah, dude. They threw him into the fire, and there are some moose out there at heavyweight
I saw the dude from ALJ, like.
No, there's definitely like.
Oh no, there's some big kids, and I mean, you got to throw. Hey, he won one.
There was no one to wrestle.
He won one.
You don't need to bring that up.
Look at the.
No, but I'm saying that it's positive. You know. First year wrestling, had a rough year.
Hey, he made varsity first year.
He made
That's
varsity
the way to think about
year.
it. Don't tell me. Nope. Don't say
it.
No. We're gonna weight class. But the thing is,
there could have been.
There could have.
The thing
they were
is,
intimidated.
The thing is, we could. The only way is up. So he's.
I mean, unless he. Well, technically, he isn't at rock bottom.
He's at rock bottom.
No, there could be he could have.
I have high hopes for Pat.
I do too. No, I do too. No more negative stuff.
He had a very
it's on the way up.
Great off season.
He got an offer for playing football. I mean, he's got to be an athlete.
No one's not calling him an athlete, right?
I'm saying no. I'm not. I'm not calling him an athlete. I'm saying
I do not.
Not everyone gets an offer. You got to You got to be he's like 6'8", 2 on the
I think
upper side.
NJ.com said
260 on NJ.com.
260.
6'8".
Yeah, he's
He's going to be able to body slam some kids. I mean, come on.
hopefully. But the biggest thing with wrestling
Be
is
positive.
It's, all right, let me speak. The thing is with wrestling, it's like 90%. Well, obviously you need to have if like you're like 160 and you don't have a lot of muscle, it's gonna be kind of tough. But at least for that weight class, it's a lot of technique. Like you're not using the same. You're not doing the same grapples as like the lower weight classes. It's a lot of just like muscling the guy around.
Yeah, just be a moose.
And like I remember a couple of years ago, Justin Van Oostendorp versus like these heavyweights. I just thought they were in like a slap battle. They were just like
They do slap
like,
body.
they were just like this, and I was kind of scared.
Chuck, why don't you get out there?
You know what would be
I am
sick?
not wrestling.
Sumo wrestling as a high school sport.
No.
You're alone on this, Schmidt.
Yeah.
I think that would be
Let's
pretty,
reel it in.
that would be hilarious.
But
And
I like
then-
the breakout pick. It is.
I think he is going to have a great year, and
lots of good
throw
stuff.
out the haters and just.
There aren't
up.
any haters.
I mean, maybe you for calling him rock bottom.
Rock bottom, yeah.
I'm real. I'm not a hater.
I'm real.
That's like
All right, who's
that's
your
like
breakout,
Gino
Ryan?
Smith quote.
Like I'm not hating him to hate him. I'm hating him. I'm not hating him to hate him. I'm just saying.
See,
where
no,
he's
no, no.
at.
You had it good when you said I'm not a hater. I'm real.
Real.
Now you just.
They
I'm
try
not
to-
hating him.
They
to
try
hate
to
him.
write me off,
I'm
but I
just-
didn't write back.
Yeah, Gino.
just-
Gino
Like,
Smith
what do you
over
want
here.
me to lie? Like, oh, he went 12-0 last year.
All right, guys, who is Ryan's breakout? Let's go.
Nate Faxon. Dude is an absolute. He's a moose. I was in church and I was sitting behind him. What?
The public school.
I'm allowed to go. I was in a place with a building and it had a cross on the
For
top.
worship.
Yeah, I was in my place of worship. Church has nothing to do with
Yeah, I don't
it.
know. Yeah.
It's not. I'm not saying it came from God to pick Nate Faxon as my breakout. No, I
You
was
said it though.
All right, he was
I was
at
sitting
church.
behind him, and I was like, and I realized that it was Nate Faxon. Like when we were leaving it, I'm like, that kid's a moose. I couldn't even see the front of the building, however you want me to say it. Dude's a moose, and he's going to be a
Place
beast.
with 4 walls and a roof.
Yeah. It was getting brunch. I don't know.
No
What
name.
I want to say, yeah. But dude is an absolute moose, and from what I hear, he's a beast. I thought he was a junior, maybe, or not a senior, but I definitely thought he was a junior. He's a huge kid.
What, last year or this year?
No, like this year, like when I saw him, it was like this weekend when I saw him.
Yeah,
I
he's
didn't
a
know.
sophomore.
I didn't know who it was. So I was like, oh, this kid's got to be an upperclassman. He's a sophomore, dude. This is the beginning. 2 years down the line, when he's a senior, you're gonna be seeing some crazy stuff from him. I mean,
Faxons are notoriously very good at wrestling, so.
yeah. I mean, his dad is a lower level coach. I think he teaches coaches.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
runs
he's
on the
the
rec
PAO.
stuff, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a good season for him. He's only a sophomore, like I said. Kids,
Is he wrestling the same weight class that Ben did?
190?
it might be.
Yeah.
They changed the weight classes last year, so it's a little different now. I know he's wrestling 190. The other guys, I'm not sure. I know James is wrestling 210 or 215. It might be 215 now.
Well, yeah, it's like the same weight, though.
No, that makes a big difference.
No, I'm saying, I'm pretty sure they don't do 210 then 215. I'm pretty
No,
sure
I'm saying it went from 210. Now it's 215.
Yeah, but he was 190 wrestling that last year.
Well, drink a couple gallons of water.
I gained 5 pounds this week. I don't know how, but I did.
I wouldn't be bragging about that.
I need to bulk up a little bit.
Schmidt just had like bricks in his pockets when he was on the scale.
Cinder block in his backpack. Weighing with he's got those ankle weights on. I can see
He's
him
got
being-
one of the massive hats.
Dude,
big hat.
we got to get a GL Sports Zone massive hat, big hats.
Brian Robinson.
Dude, let's do some research on that. Can you?
So,
How much would a big hat cost?
When is our unnamed guest coming in?
And she gave away next minute or two. Let's see. Let's see. We're not going to promote big hat. But
Big hats for sale. The Big Hat Store. No, this is definitely not doing anything. This is
it's called Noggin Boss.
Noggin Boss.
Yeah, this is it. Oh wait, we're not promoting them. We're just curious.
Bro.
Yeah, we don't. They're actually.
Dude, it looks like you get like a
Oh, we
pow-
can. You can customize it.
No way.
You
try
you
that.
might be seeing this later in the season.
$75.
You know how big the hat is? You know how much material that is?
Yeah, it's $75
4
no
hats.
shot. Dude.
A good hat is
No,
like
good hat's about 50. From lids, like a lid, like I'm talking one of the fancy like.
Yeah, Yankee fitted is like definitely 50 or 60 bucks.
Oh, I mean, while we have the free time, let's talk some free agent signings real quick. Justin Verlander to the
DeGrom.
Mets.
DeGrom's the
DeGrom,
Rangers.
DeGrom to the Rangers. Yes, too many. We can all agree. As much as I would have liked the Mets to have him, it's too many years. He won't be good in 3 years. Maybe 4 will be the downfall. Five with the 6-year option. I mean, come on, the money. Because if we were willing to give Verlander 43, that's me. We offered DeGrom 40. We were willing to give more to Verlander for, granted, only 2 years. But Verlander pitches more. He's got just like not as much velocity, but what's that face?
I don't know, man.
Verlander's nasty. You can't deny it.
But what if he doesn't? It's like Judge. My same view on Judge. Like Verlander was a Cy Young this year. Most Cy Youngs like to repeat what they did. Like you got to look at like the contract year effect. I feel like now he got his money. Like he has to get paid, but like I don't think Verlander's gonna have as good of a year next year.
Okay, well, yeah, there's definitely due for some regression, just like you said, Judge is due for some regression. I mean, you don't have 62 home runs in back-to-back seasons, but it doesn't mean he can't be exceptional.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that regression.
I think the Mets could have done it better. They could have. I think they could have.
Verlander is awesome.
Yeah,
and only giving him for 2 years, that's fine.
What about Senga? Senga.
We could still get Senga.
Get Senga and Rodon.
No,
and you get
Rodon.
2 arms.
Do you know what Rodon's asking price is right
What?
now? 6 years, over 150 million.
I wish the DeGrom trade happened before Regazzo.
Trade or signing?
Signing.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
Maybe you reported it live.
Can you imagine if he was like filming it right now? He'd be like, "Guys, I gotta go quickly," and then he like wrote up an article quickly, and we just see it over like
Like tweet it?
or tweet it, yeah, something.
Yeah, I love sports Twitter is just legendary.
Nah, there's too much fake stuff on Twitter. I feel. Or at
You
least
just got to know what you're looking
Yeah.
at.
Well, if you
I
go
saw
on,
something
if
that
you go on,
reported the
like, the dark web of Twitter. You can see some messed up stuff. But if you like stay at like sports,
Fake stuff, I mean. But no, I saw something like a day and a half prior that Verlander was going to the Mets, and I was like, come on. And it was real. Quinn can actually testify to
I
this
think it was
'cause I
always
made
in
fun
the
of him.
people's back of their heads like that. Uncle Steve would put out all that money.
Oh, yeah, you know, when Uncle Steve loses a guy, he's going all out.
Yeah, he went all out so quickly too to just send a message to DeGrom saying that he doesn't care that he's gone now. I mean, because Verlander and DeGrom, I think, are equal.
I'm just going to go get done. Sorry for the intermission. Technical difficulties here on the set. But Dante Joya, thank you for coming on here.
I made it.
Yeah. Plug your Insta, maybe, if you want to. We let Mr. Regazzo do
Dennis
that.
Rob.
Yeah, it's just Dante. I think my Insta is Dante.Joy. Honestly, I don't use it that much, so
Go follow
I don't even know it.
Beast on that. I mean, my MVP pick. Come on. Listen, we're just going to start right into it. You got any little, so we'll go around. My breakout pick and MVP, you were my MVP pick. My breakout pick, Nate Faxon. His was James Urbino.
James Urbino and Patrick Sheehan as the breakout.
And then his was Kreisberg
Kreisberg,
MVP, Sab breakout. How do you feel about some of those picks? Any insight? I mean, you're saying that the Rubino MVP pick was maybe a pretty good pick off the set.
So wrestling is definitely an individual sport. So like, obviously the better wrestlers are they're gonna look better when they're wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
What people don't realize is when you have gaps in a lineup, certain kids at certain weights are like very important.
Yeah.
So Rubino last year was really important for us because he was lighter, but he was wrestling up to 215.
Yeah.
I think he's probably closer to that weight this year. And I'll say this, we need bigger wrestlers. We need the big boys to come out to wrestle because we struggle with those weights. But we got Sheehan there this year. We got Rubino. We got Saigo. Shout out to Saigo. So I think our heavier weights, anyone who's able to compete for us at a heavier weight is definitely important to the team because we have that depth at the lighter weights. The heavier weights is where we need kids to really compete.
Definitely. And then you, on a personal level, you feeling confident about this season? I mean, I was talking about it earlier last night. Saw you at the gym after your practice. I mean, definitely the time has been put in. I mean, how are you feeling about this season on a personal level? As you say, you know, although it's a team sport, it's very individual.
Yeah, I actually feel pretty good about this season.
Shoulders all better.
Yeah, for the most part. You know,
That's why I
you
said
did-
99%.
you deal with injuries in wrestling. It's kind of part of the sport. You just learn to deal with them.
Yeah.
But kind of changed my strategy going into the season. The past 2 years, I cut a lot of weight heading into the season. This year, I'm still going to be in shape, but I'm going to cut a little bit less weight. And so far, I felt healthier doing it, so I think it'll work for me.
No buzz cut. Cut.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, will we see a buzz cut?
I've cut the hair short the past 2 years, but I decided to let the flow grow out for this year.
Gotta be ready for-
It was
gotta be
my
ready for
senior
prom.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, prom pictures.
Prom pictures?
Yeah, look good for your senior banner and everything.
Yeah.
Because buzz cut. I mean, Alan just shaved his head.
Yeah.
I think it fits
on
him though.
on short notice, to say the least. But yeah. I mean, it shows your dedication, but also it's fine to keep the long hair. So, I mean, Chuck, do you want to ask our coveted question on?
Sure.
I mean, technically.
Well,
on-
I got one more before it.
yeah.
Okay, so big part about wrestling is like the mental toughness, and obviously like cutting weight's a huge part of it. What's your go-to way? Like, say you're in a pinch, putting trash bags over yourself, going for like a long run.
Sitting in the hot bath.
Like, what's kind of like your go-to if you know you're like a couple pounds over?
Well, first of all, bundling up and just running and just trying to get a sweat on is like, you need to do that if you're heavy overweight. But something I started doing, which is nice, only if you can't do it too much because it's not healthy if you do it too much, is an Epsom salt bath, where just the salt just sucks any like extra water out of you. So it doesn't really take that much weight off, but if I really needed to lose an extra pound after practice and I was just gassed because I was working on real hard in practice, you just go home, you fill up a bath, put some Epsom salt in it, you just lay in it for like 20, 30 minutes and it'll usually suck a pound out of you. So
That's crazy.
That's brutal. Now, you just made weight. You've just, thank God, you made weight. What are you eating?
I like to have a little sandwich after I make weight. I don't eat many carbs during wrestling season, so I like to add in some carbs.
What is there anything on that sandwich like mayonnaise?
Would you fail a mayonnaise drug test?
I don't think I put mayonnaise on it. We're still eating on a diet here, so
Oh, that's true. Mayonnaise is high in calories.
High in calories.
Yeah.
What
And
would
then-
go on the sandwich?
PB&J.
I don't know. It really depends. I like
For
my
avoiding
ham
calories.
salami.
Ham and salami is always
Ham
a good
salami is a
duo.
good go. Like sometimes turkey. You only can eat so many things in wrestling season, so you gotta kind of switch through that variety of things.
Now I've got a little bit of a similar question. Wrestling season has just ended.
I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, what's the first meal you're going for? Steak, KFC, Popeyes, nice burger.
Are you saying first good meal or just first thing I'm eating?
the first, like, let's say unhealthy or your favorite thing to go for?
Like the dog is uncaged. What are you?
yeah.
What
you
are you
finally-
running to?
That's usually the problem. So usually you have these like grand plans of like, you want to eat here, you want to eat this. But usually when season ends, it's just the first unhealthy thing you see, you just start eating it.
Okay.
So I guess it really depends on where I am.
What was it last year?
I don't really remember. But I do remember last year, I think from eating healthy so often that first day after wrestling season ended, I started eating unhealthy. I ate a lot, and I felt so sick.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to throw up. I didn't eat that much. I actually had a friend that when wrestling season ended, he went to Krispy Kreme and got like a dozen donuts. I don't know how many of them he ate, but I'm pretty sure he ended up like over the toilet just from eating donuts. Because your body's not used to eating unhealthy.
Yeah.
You got any plans for this year? What you're doing right when that season ends? K-pop?
I actually have not been to K-Pot.
Yeah, I need to go.
That's
haven't been
something
yet.
I
Not to
should go
not
to.
promoting K-pot. All right, jeez, I already hear the people yelling at me. K-pot is class. I went there once. I went there before the Pitbull concert, which you might say not a great decision.
Yeah, that's not a good.
I gave myself 2 hours to digest, so we're chill. But it was.
You didn't have to make any porta potty visits?
No, not at all. Not at all. Thankfully. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Not promoting K-Pot.
So,
Come on.
Oh, one other thing I will plug, besides the eating part, right after a weigh-in, a lot of kids on the team like Pedialyte. It's essentially Gatorade, but like
For
leveled
kids.
up.
Yeah.
It's just,
They give it
Is
to
that-
like infants, right? To
Yep.
give
Yeah.
them like nutrients.
and they give it to people that are severely dehydrated, which
Yeah.
hopefully wrestlers aren't, but it happens.
last year, you guys had a great season, but fell short. You were losing
Yes.
people like
Rosenberg.
Sergio, Rayak.
Dasty, I mean, is he coming back? Any news on that?
Dasty should be back. Dasty's actually been practicing, but he's not cleared for. He's not 100% wrestling yet. But he's able to practice. I think
good
he
news.
should be back by, hopefully after the New Year's. But
So those are all big losses. What do you guys need to do differently this year to actually win with that like big game?
To actually win.
Well,
Yeah,
You're not saying you
Yes.
didn't win.
yeah, well, we fell short in the sectional final. That was actually an interesting match that we could talk about maybe later.
Just let's hear it. What made
But-
it interesting?
Oh, that match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's fresh off the dome.
we lost. I think the score is 27-44, Hanover Park in the sectional final. And what people don't realize goes on behind the scenes of like a coaching decision in wrestling is matchups. So you're trying to match up your team to get the most points as possible, and that all starts from before the match even starts. I don't know how many matches you guys have been to, but before the match, you'll send out like 2 or 3 of what you call like your captains, and they'll shake hands, kind of like a football, where they do the coin toss to
Yeah.
receive or kick off.
Yeah.
For us, we do a coin toss, and it's either odds or evens. So if you pick odds, that means at whatever weight you're starting at, you send out your wrestler first, and they send out their wrestler second. And then in the even matches, they send out their wrestler first, and you send out your wrestler second.
Okay.
So against Hanover Park, I'm pretty sure what we wanted was evens, but we lost the coin toss, so they chose evens. And at that weight that started, they were able to see who we were sending out, and they sent out the favorable matchup for them, and that kind of just messed up our matchups for the rest of the.
I didn't know that.
It's a little complicated, but it's an interesting part that not many people know about wrestling if you haven't been involved.
So looking at this, I see that James Rubino didn't wrestle in that final game or match. I mean, so what happened there?
I believe James had a concussion at the end of the year last year.
I remember that.
We were pretty injured last year at the
Yes.
end. Savino wasn't able to wrestle. Rosenberg was out most of the season. Rubino was hurt. I think Dasty had actually injured his shoulder before that match.
Wasn't Teddy hurt?
Teddy
Teddy-
wrestled this
Teddy
one.
wrestled though.
Teddy wrestled, but I don't know if like he really pushed himself to be out on the mat that
now
day
he's
for the
out,
team.
Out for the season.
Yeah, which is rough. So we have some gaps to fill in this year, but I will say, just from being in the room for the past week or two, practice has started soon. Practice just started. The kids that are returning from last year definitely seem like they have been working. So
Look sharp.
yeah, we look sharp. We look good.
That's good. I mean, clearly you and Mr. Ortega have a great relationship as coach player. I mean, I see you two talking in gym. We were talking about that before. You don't even hardly working in gym class. But what is it like having Mr. Ortega as a coach? The last little question here. What is it like? I mean, you've known him for quite a long time, being a wrestler here.
It's a good question. I really like having Mr. Ortega as our coach because when we're in the room or when we're wrestling, it's like all business, where he's pushing us to be the best. But then outside of that, he's still someone that you can be comfortable talking to him, whether it could be about wrestling, it could be about whatever. And I think that really helps us. We feel comfortable, but we're also, he's definitely pushing us.
You know when to get serious.
Yeah, and
when
when it gets
starts
serious.
yelling, we gotta
Yeah.
get moving.
His favorite statement in practice is, "Don't let me break you," or at least one of them.
Jeez, that's tough stuff. Well, Dante, thank you very much for coming
you
on
for
the
having me.
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you so much.
Get out of the zone. Have a nice one, Gio.
You can leave the zone.
No, get out of here.